Dr. Dice, impressions.
So big news this week is Hostess is going under No More Twinkies. And I've been talking to some of my students about it, and they keep saying the union went on strike and that caused it. But there's a bigger backstory. Hostess was bought out by vulture capitalists like Ripplewood and others. And what these vulture capitalists do is they come into companies that are doing just fine, that they think they can squeeze some profit out of, saddle them with huge amounts of debt, and then use that debt as an excuse to cut workers' wages. The workers at Hostess deserve to make their money. They shouldn't have to take 27 to 32% pay cuts to keep a company alive that was saddled with debt in order to make profits for the 1%. But the coverage in the news, the political discourse in the United States is so shaped by moneyed interests that ordinary Americans get a very warped picture of the world.
Brandon, welcome back to Occupy Kingwood. We hadn't seen you in a while. How have you been?
Good, good. I kind of disappeared for a while. I think I lost my interest in politics when it turned into presidential politics. That's the part that I don't like. That's the part that everyone else gets involved, but that's where I give up, because it's just all, to me, it's people getting wrapped up in things that don't really matter, and then they forget about the issues at hand. And now that that's all over, I think it's time for us to get to the core issues. One of the most important ones is the move to amend. That's what's I think that's what needs to be pushed right now.
Kevin, talk to me.
Welcome back from Denver, Egberto.
Thank you.
We're back on the corner of Kingwood and Westlake Houston here in Kingwood, Texas, and my message today is, if you're viewing this video from somewhere else in the world than from Kingwood, resident of Kingwood or Humble or Atascocita, people that are here on this corner would like to reach out to you folks out there that are viewing and find out what you're doing to make things happen, like healthcare for all in your communities, alternative energy in your communities, building co-ops and worker-owned corporations. So come visit us at Occupy Kingwood. Reach out to us. If you're local, stop by on Saturday morning, 9 o'clock to 10:30 at the corner of Kingwood Drive in Westlake, Houston. And one last point. If you have a moment, stop by rollingjubilee.org.
Thank you very much, Kev. Valerie, talk to me.
Hi, Egberto. Talk about my sign and what it says. It's like, let's fund schools and not prisons, and we need to, change our drug laws basically and decriminalize marijuana. What the amount of money I'm sure our state spends, as well as the country. And there's so many benefits that can come from it. The money could go into education. It also would help immigration, because if the drug wars in Mexico are caused by our country, and if we can, at least hit some of the, just the legalization or decriminalization of marijuana, and that might, help their country with their, with all the violence down there. I think for the most part, people would like to stay in their own country. They don't have opportunity. And so I think there's a lot of benefits to this. Plus, people's lives are being ruined for nothing. These are non-violent criminals, and they're not really even criminals, in my opinion. And it's lasted too long, and it's time for a change.
Thank you very much, Val. All right, talk to me, Stephanie.
Well, we kind of narrowly escaped a disaster with the last election, and we're happy that Republicans didn't take over, but it was a little scary. The man who 4 or 5 weeks before the election, Mitt Romney, can talk about the 47% of American people who are moochers, takers, and who he didn't care about, how that man could almost become president. So we need to keep up the pressure and make sure Obama hears that his election was in fact a mandate, and that he needs to pay attention to his core constituency, which is really a lot more radical than he has been in his first term. So we're very hopeful that he'll be a little more assertive and not compromise as much in the second term. And we're hoping here to pick some specific issues in which to focus on. The most important one being get money out of politics. So that'll be our focus for the 2013 year.
I'm not an angry American. I'm a proud American. But I want to be a proud American in an America that lives up to the promises contained in the second paragraph of the Declaration of Independence and the preamble of the Constitution. The whole idea that we are a community and we have an obligation to our community. Thank you.
Professor Davis, give me your word.
Well, I'm just savoring the victory still more than a week and a half later, this tremendous victory for progressivism in the United States. And just seeing, too, how it's clear the Republicans have learned absolutely no lessons from their defeat. The demographics are changing dramatically in our favor. They really don't have a solution for that without radically changing their policies. They're not going to do it. Look at Rick Perry's response just this week to enacting Obamacare. And look, too, at Romney's petulant remarks about losing, basically because of too many people want stuff, echoing Bill O'Reilly. They're the moochers, the 47%, that kind of stuff. He revealed his true self. So I think things look good. We need to press the Democratic Party forward to be as progressive as possible. But the Republicans look like they may well go the way of the Federalists or the Whigs. And if they do, that's something to very much look forward to. They deserve it.
Thank you very much, Professor.
You're welcome.
Mark, welcome. Talk to me.
On election day, I worked as an election judge. That was the first time I've ever done that. I think the people who work as election judges and election clerks need to form a union. You work a 16-hour day with no breaks, and you get paid $8.50 an hour. That's ridiculous. Not only that, if you're on unemployment or Social Security or something, they dock your paycheck for that lousy $8.50 an hour that you make, when you're actually just out there doing your civic duty for 16 hours with no breaks. So that would be my proposal for the day, is to unionize the election workers.